Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing a video of all of the recommendations that I have for YA retellings of Beauty and the Beast. And then at the end I'm also going to include a little TBR that I have of some other Beauty and the Beast retellings that I have not yet read, but are high on my list of books that I want to get to. Okay, so I think that I should probably start with the most obvious one. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. It follows a girl named Feyre who kills a fairy, and she's forced to live in the Spring Court with Tamlin, who is the High Lord, and everyone in his kingdom is under this curse where they have to wear masks. So they are hoping that Feyre will be the girl to break that spell and to get all of the citizens to be free. So that is where the Beauty and the Beast retelling part comes in. I really loved this book. I know that it's a little bit controversial. There are a lot of people that don't like it, but it seems to be kind of unanimous that everyone loves the second book, which is not a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The second one is Hades and Persephone, but I truly love this one. I think that it is so well written, and I really liked the parallels to Beauty and the Beast. This one kept me completely engaged, and I loved it. Next on my list is one that people on BookTube do not talk about enough, and they should because it's so good, and it is called Sunshine by Robin McKinley. This is a book about a girl who works at a bakery. It's actually her and the Beast that are both kidnapped, and they're in this they're chained up in this mansion that is by this lake that she just went to try to be alone with her thoughts for a little while. But I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really well done, and again, I'm really surprised that not more people talk about it because it was a really, really good book. And it really was a good Beauty and the Beast retelling. Highly recommend. Next on my list is The Architect of Song by A.G. Howard. I said G this time, not J, because that was pointed out to me, and I don't know why I do that. I think just AJ goes better, so that's what was flowing from my mouth. But A.G. Howard. I really, really, truly loved this book. This followed a girl named Juliet, and she lived in a mansion with her uncle, but her parents passed away, and she was going to have to be giving up her estate. So there's an interested party named Lord Thornton, but there seems to be a lot going on, and Juliet ends up meeting this ghost after she steals an enchanted rose from this grave, and then she's the only person that's able to see this ghost, and there is a whole mystery that is going on between Lord Thornton, Hawke, who is this ghost that she's able to see, and just the mystery of her estate. So this was a really, really well done book. I really loved it. It also has major Pushing Daisies vibes, so if you liked that show, I would definitely recommend this as well. This is a new adult book. It's not young adult, so there are some more risque scenes in it, but it is beautifully written, and it truly reads like a fairy tale. I was amazed at how much I loved this book, and also I just want to show you the chapter headers, because they're also so fairy tale-esque. There's all these roses and this butterfly, and I just love it. So if you haven't read this one yet, which I think a lot of people haven't, because this one was actually self-published, so you can get it through Amazon, and I think Barnes & Noble has it too, but it definitely didn't have that wide marketing release push that a lot of other books get, and it really deserves it because it was really, really good. I'm definitely looking forward to the second one in the series, which is coming out toward the end of this year. Next, I'm going to show you some Beauty and the Beast retellings that are on my TBR that I have not yet read, but I've heard good things about, so that is why I feel as though I can endorse them here. The first one being Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This one, I believe, is more of an adult fantasy novel, and it is about a girl who lives in this civilization, and there is a person named Dragon, but Dragon's actually a wizard, and he takes one girl from the community every 10 years, I believe, in order to make sure that the community runs smoothly. I don't exactly know the whole story behind it, obviously, because I haven't read it, but I believe the girl is kind of a sacrifice that is made to him, and becomes his apprentice and learns from him, and again, I've heard good things about it, so I need to get to this one. The next one that is very high on my TBR is Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge, and this one is a little bit polarizing. There are a lot of people that dislike it, but there are also a lot of people that really love it. I haven't really heard of anyone who falls kind of in the middle. It follows a girl named Nyx who is like betrothed to this lord that is totally evil. It's an arranged marriage kind of thing. She's been promised to him since I guess she was born, but she is not into that, and she's also been training to kill him since she was a very young person. So her plan is to like infiltrate his castle, seduce him, and then kill him and free everybody else from the curse that he's put upon them for like 900 years. But there ends up being a lot more to the story. There ends up being a lot more to him, and I'm guessing she probably falls in love with him, but I'll find out when I read it. The next book on my TBR is Heart's Blood by Juliette Marillier. This is probably the one that I will get to next. I know I said the other ones were high on my list, but this, I have said multiple times, is like the year that I'm finally going to read a Juliette Marillier book. So this one is the one that I want to start with. And obviously it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So there's this haunted hill called Whistling Tor, I believe. There is a guy who is residing there who has had a childhood illness, and there's like a huge curse surrounding his family, and people in the town speak like very ill of them. But he finds this girl named Katrin, or I don't know how to say it, but she is found in his garden admiring this plant that's called Heart's Blood, and then he ends up employing her to go through like family documents and stuff, which I guess is just his way of getting her to stay there. And I'm sure that they're gonna fall in love, and there's gonna be a curse that's broken. And I'm just really excited to read this one because my friend Melissa read it and she loved it. And she's also like a huge Beauty and the Beast fan, so I feel like this one is gonna be really, really good. And then there are two more books that I have on my TBR that I haven't read yet and don't currently own. And one of them, the reason is because it's not out yet, but it's coming out very soon. But the first book on my list is Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall. It's about a girl who like apprentices along with her father, and then her father is murdered. So she doesn't really have anything to her name, and she goes out into the woods where she finds solace, because that's like where she feels most at home. And she is caught trying to steal from something from like a royal guard, and they offer her, like, instead of being hung, they offer her freedom in exchange for her father's killer. But it turns out that the alleged killer is her former best friend and her dad's previous apprentice, and he's also a boy that she loved that broke her heart. So I'm definitely excited to see how that is going to play out. And then the final book on my list that I do not currently have because it's not out yet, but it's coming out very soon, it comes out on March 14th, is Hunted by Megan Spooner. And it follows a girl named Yeva, and her family is like in high society, and she's supposed to marry this like obnoxious rich gentleman, but something happens and her father completely loses his fortune, and they're forced to move out into the woods. And Yeva is actually really happy about that, but unfortunately, along with losing their fortune, it seems like her father has kind of lost his mind. So he goes out, he gets lost in the woods, and then Yeva has to go and find him. And it is this beast that she goes after, because apparently, like, right before he disappeared, he was dead set on finding this one, like, beast in the forest. So that's who Yeva, like, sets her sights on when she goes out to try to find her father. And she ends up finding him, and she tracks him back to his own territory, which is a cursed valley. And it turns out that this place where he lives, in this like ruined castle, there's a whole like cast of creatures that are all cursed, and the ending tagline of the synopsis is "Who will survive, the Beauty or the Beast?" So I'm really looking forward to reading that one. Ooh, maybe I'll push for that to be our Spines with Wines book club pick. Okay, I'm gonna have to text Cassie and Melissa. But yeah, so those are all of the Beauty and the Beast retelling recommendations that I have for you. Please let me know if you have any more, because I'm definitely interested in reading more of them. I feel like there are other ones that I've read. I felt like my list was going to be longer, but it ended up that my TBR portion was longer than my actually read portion. But I have thoroughly enjoyed all of the Beauty and the Beast retellings that I've read so far. So I would imagine that I'm going to enjoy all of the ones that I have on my TBR as well. So let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know any other recommendations that you may have, and I will see you guys soon in a new video. Bye!